It's time for Dodger Baseball.
What's going on, Dodgers Nation? Welcome to the Dodgers Nation post-game show. I'm your host, Doug McCain. You can follow me on Twitter and Instagram at DMac_LA. The Dodgers found a way to win tonight. They beat the Marlins. It was a bizarre play. We're going to talk all about it that happened in the bottom of the ninth inning. You got Stallings was a fish out of water in no man's land. They were able to score on that play. And how about Trayce Thompson? He was fantastic tonight. I thought Trayce Thompson, offensively, defensively, he really stepped up. And how about the end, seeing Evan Phillips in the game? We all know that, yes, Craig Kimbrell, was he down tonight? That's the big question. I'm sure that they're going to ask him that tonight. But we're going to get into all these topics here. But first and foremost, who was your player of the game? Yeah, Mookie Betts. He falls a triple short, or he's almost was able to get he goes 3 for 4 tonight, does Mookie Betts. He falls a home run short of a triple, of a home run short of a cycle. And we're going to break down this entire game. The Dodgers now 82-36. Yes, offensively, they are still cold. They did take advantage of some shoddy Marlins defense. But how about Tyler Anderson? I thought a fantastic bounce-back start. You saw the changeup was absolutely nasty tonight. He was getting the punch-outs, the swing and miss. I thought the depth that he gave the Dodgers tonight, he was fantastic. He ends up going 7 innings. But first and foremost, let me know where you're rocking with Dodgers Nation with tonight, where you're repping. Give me those city zip codes, area codes. Also, who is your player of the game? You could go Mookie Betts, you could go Trayce Thompson, you could go Tyler Anderson, or if you want, I think I'm going to go with Jacob Stallings. I think I'm going to give him the game ball for giving the Dodgers that run there. I think Mookie would have had a tough time scoring if he had gone home birdie there. But here we go. We got Century City in the house from Chris Sargoy. By the way, I'm looking for that Dodgers Nation comment of the night. If you get the comment of the night, and there could be multiple ones, you're going to see this.
You win.
You know, it's like the DiCaprio. And then if I get a fire take, you're going to see this.
Fire take.
So bring those fire takes, bring those hot takes. I want all your thoughts, comments, and questions about tonight's game. Play Trayce more. That's from Thomas Crown. Yeah, and Trayce Thompson, he really had been going through it a little bit heading into this one. I mean, he had like 6 straight strikeouts, and he really turned around tonight. I mean, I thought just a fantastic at-bat against early in that game to really just tie things up for the Dodgers in the bottom of the 7th inning. That double to left, he got himself into a great hitter's count, a 2-0 count, a slider. He kind of just left it out over the plate. He just turned on it, and the BABIP gods have been very friendly to Trayce Thompson this year. It goes right out of the glove of Birdie there, and just a great way to just keep at it. He's not letting any of these slumps hurt him, any of these little mini slumps really affect him. He's just poised and even keel. And I thought defensively, the way his body control there, just the adjustment, that ball could have hit his glove and gone over the fence, and we could be talking about a tie game. But Dodgers, they get the dub by a score of 2-1, 6 hits for LA tonight. We're going to talk about how poorly they've performed lately with runners in scoring position. It's definitely become a little bit of an issue. I don't think it's going to persist for much longer, but the Dodgers tonight, they definitely struggle with runners on base and in scoring position. 0 for 10 for the Dodgers. What do you guys make of this slump offensively for LA? They definitely have been going through a little bit of slump, not manufacturing the runs like we saw when they were averaging over 7 runs per game in that nice 12-game winning streak. But here we go. We got play Trayce more. No trace of a doubt. Iris K. There you go. That's a winning one.
You win.
Yeah, and look, I'm just happy that the Dodgers aren't without a Trayce at this point. And to me, I think that we'll see if he plays like this, if Chris Taylor and Joey Gallo continue to perform. Will there be a trace of Cody Bellinger? Because it's really interesting to kind of see what the Dodgers are doing as far as using this time frame with this cushion. They have 17-game lead. They have a 5.5-game lead over the Astros for best record, a lead over the Mets and the Yankees and all these teams. And they're going to have the luxury of being able to put guys in spots and see how they perform and really just gauge how they're going to utilize this postseason roster and put guys in spots. But here we go. Trey Turner bat was quiet. Mookie and Anderson. Yeah, I mean, I think Trey Turner definitely didn't have his best night. Of course, he goes 0 for 3, had the walk in the strikeout. Freddie Freeman goes 0 for 3 with the walk in the strikeout. So the two hit leaders, the hit parade, they just, it just wasn't their night. But, other guys stepped up. And look, this is a game where, this is one of my big takeaways tonight, is the Dodgers just winning close games, winning one-run games. The Dodgers on pace to win 112 games this season. We know how dominant they've been all year, but now with the win tonight, they're now at 500 in one-run games this year, sitting at 10-10. So why do you guys think the Dodgers might struggle to win one-run games? Let me know down below. Sucks that Anderson didn't get the W. Gary Webb, yeah, he's fine with that. And look, to me, that just tells you how flawed the wins and W stats are. It's based on how your offense does. So I'm a guy who, yeah, I mean, it's 2022. It's time to do away with wins and losses. I mean, I can give you the whole history of wins and losses, but yeah, I mean, look at Jacob deGrom winning in 2018. I mean, look at Clemens. I mean, yeah, I mean, I don't want to go too into the weeds on that, but yeah, I think that when you look at how these guys are evaluated, yes, wins are nice, but it's not the biggest indicator of, it's actually way down the line of an indicator of how good a pitcher is, way down the line. But yeah, the bottom line is what Tyler Anderson was able to do tonight. He goes 7 innings, gives a 1 run on 5 hits, had 6 punch-outs and 3 walks. So did lose some batters there tonight, did walk some guys, but for the most part, he was sharp. He was really sharp tonight, and I think the big difference was he definitely had the feel for that changeup. He got 11 swings and misses, 7 swings and misses from that 4-seam fastball, the way he was located, the way he was elevating it to get punch-outs. I thought it was a really nice outing from Tyler Anderson. Tyler, the outs creator. I just thought early on, too, to birdie, top of the first inning, he gets him looking at that cutter. He was definitely out there to really prove that, hey, I'm still productive. You know, I'm not going to fall off. I know people thinking I might have some regression, but I think Tyler Anderson definitely made just one of many statements all year that he was in control all night long. And I thought it was fantastic. I thought that the changeup was working at the bottom of the zone, that vertical break, I thought was great, inducing soft contact all night long. The 1 run he did give up, we could talk about that, where he gave that leadoff double. And what you see when Tyler Anderson gives up runs or when he struggles, it's the leadoff base hits. It's usually, we got Lawndale, 902-60, Craig Osterberg in the house. We got Let's Go Dodgers from Aila Aiden. Yeah, if you say Let's Go Dodgers, you're going to get a Let's Go Dodgers. We got player of the game is Kimbrel for not playing. Okay, that's a fire take.
Fire take.
And a finish him.
Finish him.
Janelle, you have Trace as your player of the game. You got Kath from the 661. Trace Thompson's season has swept over Dodgers Nation. Hey, you're feeling good tonight, aren't you, my man? Your boy Trace Thompson, who many were starting to say, hey, it's starting to even out with Trace Thompson, really looking a little lost at the plate. The swing's looking a little big, some swing and miss, but no, Trace Thompson tonight, he showed once again that, hey, he is here to stay. We got Riverside, California in the house, 7:57. It's 1 a.m. Evan Almighty. What up, Robert Vosta over on Facebook, Iris K. I'm here for all the Coldplay songs by Dieter. Yeah, I know. You got that's a great, all jokes aside, and I mean, look, I was one to say that Chris Martin has a better shot of winning a Grammy than winning a Cy Young Award, but I thought he performed really well tonight in his work, made light work in the 8th inning. Got Rojas to ground to short for the first out. Aguilar got him to fly to right on the 9th pitch of the at-bat, and then he got Anderson swinging on that 4-seam fastball, touching 96. So, yeah, he's a guy that continues to get comfortable. So, kudos to Chris Martin out there, and it was really nice to see him have success for sure. I think when it comes to Chris Martin, he's a guy that, yeah, he's going to benefit. I mean, the more he's in this program with the Dodgers, that they're going to put him in a spot to try to optimize him and allow him to have the most success that he can possibly have. So, yeah, they've clearly identified some things in him that they want to, that they clearly like, and I think that the velo definitely is promising for him. His big issue is keeping the ball in the yard. So it's definitely a good time for him. I mean, Chris Martin. I mean, yeah. It's called, here we go. Evan Phillips, no more cardiac Craig. That's from Christina Selby. Nathan Phillips, greater than sign crumbled. Kimbrel is punching the air right now from Thomas Crown. We got Kathy. Trace is as tall like a warrior brother as Clay. We got Jamie Lannister. Do you think Cody gets non-tendered? Jamie Lannister. I think it's an interesting question because, I mean, we'll see how things end up, because I think it's tough to really make an assessment on that right now, because when you talk about Cody Bellinger, yes, he struggled this season, and he's also making $17 million this year, and he has one more arbitration year left before he becomes a free agent, and of course that arbitration number, it only goes up. So yeah, I mean, are you going to pay someone over $17 million for a below average bat? I mean, most organizations, that'd be an absolute no. This is the Dodgers, who definitely value his defense, and we'll see how he performs in the postseason. But I would say Jamie Lannister, a few years ago, you would think that's unthinkable, but since the second half of his MVP season till now, he has a sub 700 OPS. He has been a below average bat for multiple seasons now, and you hate to see it because you know I love me some Cody Love, and I am a believer, but it does feel like a guy that just has not been able to make those necessary adjustments at the plate to become a consistent big league player, to become a consistent big league hitter. Yes, his defense is good. Yes, his defense, you could say, is great at times, the routes, the jumps, the big plays and big moments, but his defense isn't great on the level that justifies having his bat in the lineup when he performs the way he does. There's other options on this team that can provide more production with the bat. So look, the competition, look at bust pipes or it makes diamonds, and I think in this situation, hopefully he steps up. We saw what Max Muncy did when it felt like you had other options for Max Muncy and other guys you could possibly play. He stepped up and he made the adjustments, and I think for me, the big question I have for Cody Bellinger, Jamie, is why does he not go back to what was working? Buzz cut belly in the postseason last year, had a 907 OPS, had the clutch base hit in Game 5 of the NLDS to beat the Giants. He had the game-tying home run in Game 3 of the NLCS. The Dodgers were 0-84 in games they were trailing by 3 runs or more in the 7th inning or on, and he hits one of the biggest home runs. So, yeah, I mean, you can't ever count Cody out, and if he gets an opportunity to play in the postseason, you just want to see what he's able to do. But I want to see him go back to that wider stance, lower the hands. I don't like to see the bat parallel to the ground. I think go back to what was working last year, and I think, yeah, you just want to see him make the adjustments. And, yeah, I'm reminded of that article in The Athletic a few months ago where, yeah, I mean, kind of the hitting coaches basically, to paraphrase, said, hey, he's kind of, he does his own thing. And he makes his own adjustments, and I just want to know how receptive he is to the coaching there. So, I don't know. He's definitely, it's definitely an interesting conversation. No Kimbrel equals 1-2-3 game over. Carl, yeah, guys, don't you just feel relaxed? I mean, my butt cheeks didn't completely clench up. I mean, I didn't have to take 10 shots of Jim Beam or Ornitos tonight. I mean, it was nice to see Evan Phillips, Dr. Phil going out there making pitches. And look, you can say what you want about Kimbrel possibly needing some days off, considering he was using for the last 6 Dodger games, but I mean, if all was right with Craig Kimbrel, he'd be out there, especially when you consider the fact that he likes that the routine use. But yeah, Craig Kimbrel in that inning, I thought it was just a great play. I thought it was a great play by Trace Thompson to set the tone there. I mean, he gets ahead of the count, 2 strikes, 0-2, throws a ball, misses low, and then he throws a 4-seam fastball that caught a lot of the plate, and then Trace Thompson makes a great catch, and then he gets Stallings to ground out for the second out, and then he gets Wendell to line to center on the first pitch on a cutter. So he was in command. It was quick. It was efficient. He threw exactly 9 pitches out there, and yeah, I'm telling you, he is definitely a viable option, and I think that what you're seeing is I think the Dodgers realize and they know that Blake Trinan is going to be able to come back and be that high-leverage reliever. And they do also expect Yency Almonte to come back and perform well for them. So, yeah, it's very interesting. And the good thing is the Dodgers do have options. They have options they can go to. And thank goodness, thank God, thank the baseball gods out there that they discovered Evan Phillips this season. He was an absolute breakout because they definitely have it. But Belly needs a map. That's from Joe Lacco. Hi, D-Mac. What up? How's it going? We got Gary Webb, LMFAO, the Padres, having a clown show in Scam Diego. Yeah, the Padres, they're 6-9 since they won the trade deadline. I don't know about that. Crumble DFA, that's from Boomer Assassin. We got Kimbrel DFA once Trinan returns. Chris Sargo. We got Mook and Trey Save My Night. That's from Rob G. Captain Phillips will now lead the ship. I like that one. That's a comment of the night. Yeah, Captain Filth, the nickname I've called him. Funny play Soto diving. Yeah. Back into the comment section here. Yeah. Is Dustin May coming back tomorrow? Angelo Bellin. Yes, Dustin Mania is returning tomorrow. If you see those red balloons around, that's because Pennywise is going to be back on the mound. I'm very excited for it. It's first time since May Day of last season. Last pitch on May 1st of 2021. Had that TJ, and he's back. And he talked to reporters before the game, and I'm really excited to see his changeup because he's been working on that changeup, and you add that to the mix, and he's going to see if he has it early on. I think the great thing about Dustin May is the fact that, look, let's say Dustin May comes back last season where the Dodgers are neck and neck with the Giants and they don't have this cushion, they're chasing him, there's all this pressure to win each and every game, then I'm starting to be concerned. But I love the fact that he does have a few weeks just to settle in, just to get his feet wet, just to get with the mane, Dustin May, those red locks back on that mound. I think he's going to provide a nice little spark for this Dodgers team, too, because I know everyone out there is excited to have him back on the mound, especially when you consider the fact that Danny Duffy, has anyone ever seen Danny Duffy in person? Because I think it's interesting the fact that I've seen him more in a Lakers uniform than I've seen him in a Dodgers uniform. I mean, I don't think that Danny Duffy, he's Bigfoot, he's a unicorn. I just don't know if Danny Duffy ever existed. I think he's definitely a mythical character. Captain Phillips did not let the ship sink tonight. Fernie Baller feeling that one over on YouTube. We got Trace Thompson is as good as Bellinger, CT3, and Gallows from Jay Silva over on YouTube. Yeah, I mean, you really can't. What can you say about Trace Thompson? I think kind of the takeaway for Trace Thompson so far is that, yeah, I mean, we've seen him get hot, and then early back in 2016, he had a great start, and then he got injured. The back started barking. But tonight, he goes 1 for 3, and I think that the fact that he can impact the game on both sides. He can impact the game with his bat and with his glove. And also, I think another massive takeaway is those reverse splits, because really, when they brought him on, and by the way, here's just a note out there to any Dodgers haters that might be watching this that want to say, oh, the Dodgers, they just buy their team. They're the best team that money can buy. Oh, my team would be good if I had a $5 billion payroll. Well, guess what? Your team could have had Trace Thompson. Look, the Detroit Tigers, they trade him for not even a player, a guy named Cash, first name Cash, last name Considerations, and they get Trace Thompson. And the Dodgers, look, an 824 OPS, 22 RBI, 5 home runs, a triple, and now 10 doubles for Trace Thompson. And I think one thing that really stands out is the success that he's having against right-handed pitchers. I mean, 1,029 OPS versus right-handed pitchers so far. And, yeah, it's a little concerning when you look at the flip side of that because of 579 OPS versus lefties, but I think he's going to come around on that. But Mookie and Trace saved my night. That's from Rob G. Yeah, nice to see Mookie get that triple. And earlier in the game, he gave the Dodgers an opportunity to really get on top early. Bottom of the first inning, Betts had a leadoff double to left. Then Trey, he flied to right for the first out. Freeman, he struck out swinging on a changeup. Smith, he flied to right on a changeup. And, yeah, all in all, you got to tip your cap because, yeah, it was a nice pitching performance on the other side there tonight. And the Dodgers, they were just flummoxed, man. They looked like they were a little lost out there tonight because Jesus Luzardo, he goes 6 1/3, had 7 punchies, 2 walks, and he had the Dodgers just off balance with his breaking stuff. He goes 100 pitches, 63 for a strike, so you got to give him credit. And then Okert, he comes in, and like I said, it was nice to see Trace Thompson, who's had so much success against righties, do what he does, what he's supposed to do best, and mash against lefties because Steven Okert is a southpaw. But here we go, back to the comment section. CT3 to the 7 of 9 spot. Yeah, he's streaky. We know that. CT streaky. But, hey, how about the fact that you saw the diving catch, the home run against Milwaukee? Christ Taylored. Here we go. Evan the Grim Reaper Phillips from Javier Mora. I like it. I respect that, the Grim Reaper. I like Dr. Filth. I like the Captain Phillips. I like the Captain Filth. Trace is Belly's replacement. That's from Diane Schroeder. Look, the athleticism is definitely there. I mean, I just think that it's a little too premature based on. Think about this. As bad of a year as you think Cody Bellinger is having, and he absolutely is not having a great year, he did have a really nice start to the month of August. But, yeah, he has since struggled after that hot start. And, yeah, he just hasn't been consistent at the plate all season. It's just been a struggle. It's been a struggle bus season for Cody Bellinger once again. And if you look at his numbers, an 82 WRC plus, that means he's 18% below league average as a bat. He's hitting just above the Mendoza line with a 204 average. But last season, he had a 48 WRC plus. Okay, so 52% worse than league average when it comes to offensive production. And what did he do in the postseason? He turned around. Would the Dodgers have beaten the Giants without Cody Bellinger's heroics? I mean, so like I said, I'm with you guys. I definitely think that I don't think you should just hand him the position and say, oh, even though you're playing great, Trace Thompson and other guys that could be stepping up, yeah, you got to give them an opportunity. If they earn it, and they definitely are, it is starting to look like the organization is more open to having Cody Bellinger be replaced as the everyday center fielder based on what we're seeing. And I think that, like I said, the Dodgers, they're in a great spot when it comes to the cushion they built to give guys more opportunities, but everything changes in the postseason. And, I mean, Cody Bellinger, if he turns it around and gets hot, I mean, he could provide a big hit. And also, I mean, look at the rob job he did on Fernando Tatis Jr. in 2020. So, like I said, I'm with you guys. I definitely think you do play the hot hand and you make these guys go out there and earn it. But I wouldn't just completely sell all my stock on Cody Bellinger, at least for this season. If you're someone who thinks that it might be a good idea to non-tender him, there's zero pushback for me on you on that, because if you guys have watched the show, I've been saying that for a long time. But yeah, what I always say is, look, Phillips, when you see Phillips, you're screwed. He's a screwdriver. We got CT3 as a human fly swatter at this point. Martin can close too from Constance Brigham. I think I'm a little skeptical on that one. I think Martin, he definitely has some nice stuff that plays up with the velocity and the way he uses his secondary pitches, but I think, I mean, the way he's been burned by the home run ball this year, definitely don't want to see that in a close one-run game where you can tie things up with one swing, but definitely was very promising to see the work he put in tonight. Yes, this is the Miami Marlins, and we still have to talk about that play in the top of the 8th inning. Jeez. That was just, what were your thoughts on that play? I mean, give me one word to describe the play you saw from Jacob Stallings. Look, I haven't seen a Marlin run away like that from home plate since Derek Jeter ran away from the Marlins when he quit on them. I mean, that was just unbelievable. He was the epitome of a fish out of water on that play, and clearly he was thinking double play there and was trying to go for that DP in that situation. But when you consider the fact it's a one-run game, I think they definitely would have had a really great shot of getting Mookie Betts at the plate, and they definitely do that. But we got to do better with runners in scoring position. Yeah, no, there's no question about it. That has been a struggle of late. The Dodgers definitely struggling with runners in scoring position. And just how bad have they been of late? They're 6 for their last 43 with runners in scoring position. So it's definitely been a struggle. Mr. Anderson did well tonight, saved the pen for the most part. Bring him back next season. Dodgers, peek a peep. Yeah, I definitely think he's in a great position to get that qualifying offer and maybe sign a 2-year deal, maybe with the club option. I think when you look at how the game has changed, and yes, the velocity revolution, the high velocity revolution is still a thing, but you're seeing teams and pitching coaching staffs around Major League Baseball, they're having their pitchers throw less heaters these days and more off-speed stuff. When you have a guy like Tyler Anderson that is an absolute pitcher, definitely a guy that knows how to work different quadrants of the strike zone and keep hitters off balance with his herky-jerky delivery and go out there and be Tyler the outs creator, I definitely think there's going to be a nice quality market for him, and he's really bet on himself, just over $8 million on that deal to go out there and get a nice payday. Because look, I think the thing about Tyler Anderson that really impresses me the most is even tonight with Tyler Anderson, you'll see him go out there and walk guys. I mean, you'll see him give up leadoff base hits. Look at the top of the 3rd inning with LeBlanc. He gives up that single to start the inning in the top of the 3rd, and then he bounces back, gets Burdick to line out for the first out. Then he walks Encarnacion on 4 pitches. He missed twice with a changeup, twice with a 4-seam fastball, and then Birdie grounds in that fielder's choice to shortstop. They get the out, Encarnacion at second, and then with LeBlanc on 3rd, then he gets Rojas swinging. He gets Rojas looking at that 4-seam fastball, just pinpoint precision right there on the outer half to get him to get him swinging, to get him looking at strike three and get him out of that inning. So I think that's one of the most impressive things when it comes to Tyler, the outs creator, is the fact that he can pitch with traffic. He can pitch in tight situations, and doesn't matter if whatever happens in a game, he's the guy that's going to go out there and eat innings. And I think when you're this bullpen that has really done a great job this season, you definitely want to get as many innings as you can from Tyler Anderson. Also, look, this Dodger team, they fully are aware, hey, he's on a one-year contract, man. We're going to get every single inch out of this guy. But yeah, he's been absolutely clutch this entire season, has Tyler Anderson. And back in the comment section here. Heck, Freeman went after Gallo because of Bellinger's struggles on the down low, and now Gallo's outplaying Cody right now. Galileo. Shout out to my friend Eric Gallo. No, absolutely. I think Gallo's been one. He has a beard, so he's instantly a better player. Two, Gallo leaving just end of the Yankees season, and then also on top of everything else, he's around this Dodgers coaching staff. And for me, look at Frankie Montas. He goes on the Yankees, and Frankie the Yankee has been an absolute disaster. Joey Gallo goes to the Dodgers. He's having success. Chris Martin, he's starting to turn things around. Trace Thompson, he's been a breakout player. When players join the Dodgers, more often than not, they play better. They perform better than they did before they got there. Can't say the same thing with the Yankees for the most part right now too. So it's really interesting. So I think you just got to credit the Dodgers scouting, Andrew Friedman, Brandon Gomes. There's a lot of guys who names I don't even know that are definitely involved in helping this team just get players that no one wanted. And that's what I think is so impressive about this organization. But here we go. I like this question from Pika Peep. That's, hey, Doug, where the heck is James out, man? Nobody seems to know anything about that as of today. Yeah, it's really interesting talking to some people today. And, James, you couldn't get him out, man. And he had so much success. Of course, he hits a home run, becomes the 8th Dodger in history to hit a home run his first at-bat. And, look, I mean, they want to get his feet wet. And then later you saw them do the same thing with Miguel Vargas. And I think at this point in the season, there's still depth pieces that just aren't going to be options at this point. The Dodgers feel like they're not quite there yet. But I want to give my friend Mr. Tim Rogers a lot of credit, because even when Cody Bellinger was hot, even when Cody Bellinger was performing pretty well after he hit that bomb against the Giants to give the Dodgers the lead after the All-Star break, he was saying that, hey, James Outman is a better option at $700,000 to play center field than Cody Bellinger at $17 million. So, yeah, it's pretty interesting to see what the future holds for him. But as of right now, I'm not quite sure. No one really knows. But I mean, I think it's pretty evident that they're not gonna roll with him right now. But Strider D-Mac, he was afraid of being responsible, so he ran away from his responsibilities and allowed Mookie to score. LOL. Strider, you crazy, man. Yeah, just look at this play. I mean, just look at that play right there. And it was a ground ball to so let's break down that bottom of the 8th inning. I'll just do some more comments. We'll break down that bottom of the 8th inning. Outman left field, Thompson center field, Betts right field. Hey, man, you can't. Chris Taylor, Taylor. He's a guy that you definitely want on your team in the postseason. But Cody needs to lay off the edibles. Gary A. Yeah, that could be a start. Trey is nay. Yeah. I always say Cody Bellinger doesn't play baseball. He plays baked ball. The Pooh trades will trade for Alcantara, DeGrom, sign Judge, and will still have their annual August collapse. Who is that from? That's from Darth Mexican over on YouTube.
Fire take.
Here we go. Myria Jones, DN Regular. What up, IB Stroking? How you doing, my man? Cheers to you, my guy. D-Mac, what's your view of Pepio? I mean, I think it's pretty evident at this point. Look, I think that the stuff is there, and you can't deny how filthy the changeup is. And to me, it just comes down to if he wants to be the man, he has to have the command. And right now, he just doesn't have the command of his fastball. And until he gets that, both sides of the plate, he's going to have his issues at the big league level. I mean, you're seeing even when it's a filthy pitch, you'll see he'll leave it out over the plate. And big league hitters, they're going to punish mistakes. And that's really what's been the issue for Ryan Pepio. So I think until he's able to find that command, it's going to be tough sledding for him. But yeah, I still think that, I mean, he's still so young. It's still so early in his career that yes, it's a little disappointing because I was hoping that, hey, maybe he's a guy that can go out there and give the Dodgers a little boost because of how filthy his stuff is. But a 4.26 ERA in 25 and a thirds innings pitched, home runs per 9 at 1.8. But yeah, I mean, he's given up 5 bombs so far in his last 2 outings. He's given up 2 bombs and 2 bombs. So yeah, it's definitely an issue keeping it in the yard. But you definitely see the potential. But I just think when you consider how high the stakes are, I just don't see where maybe he could have an impact. Maybe if more guys go down, he would be an option. But I think that at the beginning of the season, I was hoping that he could be a secret weapon guy, right? You never know. I'm always looking for the next K-Rod, right? A guy who can come up, a young guy who's really a mystery to the opposition. They haven't seen him a lot, so it really gives the pitcher the advantage. But Pepio, yeah, I mean, think about this. Would you want him to start a game where maybe you could get behind early? Would you want him to come in out of the pen where you might have runners on base? And would you want a guy with his command issues to pitch with a runner on second or first? So to me, the answer is no. So like I said, he needs a little more Pepio in his stepio. Give him a pep talk and continue to develop him and see that progress. But Muncie's slander will not be tolerated from Wendy Y. You guys remember, re-signed Tyler the Terminator. Diane, you got a new nickname for TA? Respect. Let's go Dodgers. There we go. Justin Lamas, he's a regular. What's up, man? Tyler Anderson isn't my cup of coffee. I'd rather take Scherzer. Yeah. Oh, wow. What a take. I'd rather have a Bentley than a Corvette. I'd rather have a Ferrari than a Corvette. So, yeah, I agree with you. David Price is $32 million off the books. Well, you remember, Steven, that they were splitting that contract, the Red Sox and the Dodgers. So the Dodgers weren't on the hook for that $32 million. Yeah, a lot of players are off the books. Look, the Dodgers, after next season, only will have 4 players under contract. And then, of course, Mookie Betts, Trey Turner. I hope so. I hope it's Trey Turner. But Mookie Betts, Freddie Freeman. Then you got Austin Barnes and Chris Taylor. But other than that, it's pretty wide open when it comes to the Dodgers payroll. Max dead arm Scherzer. Yeah, his arm was dead until right as he was about to grab that pen to sign that $72 million contract. It randomly just came back to life, resurrected itself, and was able to sign the contract at that point. Yeah. Is Tommy Kainley coming back this season? Yang Yi definitely making progress. Definitely that they think that he is going to be a guy that can come back and help this Dodgers team. He was filthy for a few innings this season, and then, of course, he wasn't able to make it all the way back. But he did come back, and then, yeah, he went back on the IL. So, yeah, we'll see. I think that's another really big wild card for this Dodger team is guys like the Tommy Kainleys, guys like the Victor Gonzalez's, those guys, those kind of like guys we just haven't seen for a long while. And we'll see what their status is going to be. But, yeah, when it comes to Tommy Kainley, he's a guy they fully understood was not going to pitch in 2021. They basically signed to that 2-year deal, hoping that this is the year that he was going to be able to contribute. But, yeah, we'll see what happens with Tommy Kainley because, I mean, he was still late to throwing bullpen sessions as well. And he's pitching just 4 games this year, and he's just having issues with that elbow. So, yeah, I mean, you hope that not all these guys are going to have issues coming back because, like I said, it is like an episode of Squid Game for the Dodgers. It feels like at times where just one guy goes down, then another guy goes down. But, yeah, Tommy Kainley still recovering from that Tommy John surgery. And Dave Roberts did say that they just threw a third bullpen, 25 pitches, fastball, changeup, and he said he's been feeling good. He said he hasn't had any setbacks, and he hasn't heard anything weird, so he is feeling good, and he said that they're, quote, trending in the right direction for Tommy Kainley, and the hope is that he will return at some point in early September. So we'll see. You know that can change. But here we go. Joey numbers we got Carl. I bet that Joey is glad for the Trey D to escape the Gallo in New York just in time to be free. I don't know what that even meant, man. Rodwell's hater has did he really? Oh man. Wow. Haterade. Haters gonna hate. I mean, geez. I mean, Josh Hader, talk about being a bust. Talk about being a bust, man. Wow. Jeez, D-Mac, the pitching has been doing well most of the year, and we have to give props to Mark Pryor. One day he'll be a future manager. He's really good and knows how to get the best. Strider, here you 120. Amen. I mean, absolutely 100%. Mark Prior is one of those guys that maybe not every single fan knows of. I think that if you're a casual, you might have heard of his name, but he's one of those guys that really changes an organization with just how great he is. I mean, the way he individualizes. I think the great thing about Mark Prior is it's not just one way of dealing with guys across the board. He finds what works with each particular pitcher, whether it be what do they need help with? Do they need help with confidence, with mechanics, with the way they attack pitchers? Is there a flaw in their pitch mix? I mean, they just go across the board. I mean, the guy's an absolute pitching junkie, and I think from a personality standpoint too, is he just gives guys confidence, and I think that it's just a belief where it's not a rah-rah mentality. It's just hey, yeah, you can go out there and do and execute pitches because we have given you this information that's going to help you excel at the highest level. So, yeah, you just cannot say enough about Mark Prior and Connor McGinnis and everyone really within this Dodgers coaching. And that's why this team is so good and this organization's had so much success because it's not just the players, it's the coaching, it's the scouting, it's the nutritionists, it's the janitors, it's the parking attendant people. Everyone that's within this Dodgers organization is top-notch across the board. What up, D-Mac? What up, Austin Lime over on YouTube? We got White People in MLB. Over Bobby, what WTF? Why Pepio in the MLB over Bobby? Pepio still has a filthy slider. Courtney Sandoval, yeah, absolutely. I mean, it's not the filth. The filth is there. The movement is there. The horizontal break is undeniable, but you have to be able to work that fastball and have your secondary pitches play off that fastball. Because I think the issue, too, is when you notice in that Twins game that teams are sitting on that changeup and they know when it's coming. And big league hitters, they're very advanced. But here we go. We got down to the Madres from Carl Summer over on YouTube. What up, Carl? Pods lose again. Jeez, Padres just an absolute. So now they're 6-10 since they won the deadline. I feel like Mookie and Freddie in the dugout just laughing right now. But 18 up. That's from Yang Yi over on YouTube. Thoughts on San Diego? That's from Young_stud_. Look, I mean. My thoughts on San Diego are, one, you got to give them some credit. And what I mean by that is you got to give them credit considering the fact that you got Big Brother in the Los Angeles Dodgers. You have this juggernaut, this absolute wagon up north that's dominating their division. And instead of saying, we're going to wait out this Dodgers dynasty and we're going to develop our farm system and try to just see what we can do with the guys we have, they're out there being aggressive and making big moves for Juan Soto, and they made big moves last year. You saw, even when they got in Clevenger in 2020, they've been going after it, but at some point, the farm system dries up, and now their farm system is one of the worst in baseball. So really, yes, they do have Juan Soto for 2.5 postseasons, but will it even be in the postseason? Because now they're scratching, clawing for that wild card spot, and I just think that when you also consider the fact that Fernando Tatis Jr., Fernando Tatis Jr., he wasn't able to come back. I think that was a massive distraction for this team, and they claimed that they were fine and that they were still going to be okay without it. But, yeah, also, look, the writing was on the wall for Josh Hader. Definitely a red flag for Josh Hader. They still gave up, I believe, their number 7 overall prospect, and, yeah, he has had his issues. And, look, moves just don't seem to work out. I think their issue when it comes to the San Diego Padres is they love the names. They love the brands of these players, these names that they can sell tickets with and jerseys. Like, you don't see them getting the Evan Phillips types, right? You don't see them getting the Yancy Almonte types. You see them getting guys who are almost retreads and guys who were stars. And, of course, Juan Soto's a great player, but I'm talking about more of a Josh Hader that, for the most part, it's really a cursed franchise at the end of the day. And I think that Eric Hosmer is somewhere with the voodoo doll, and he's cursing this Padres team all night. But here we go. We got hopefully Roberts got a taste of how a clean inning and a closer should look like. That's from EB. Yeah, do you guys think that absolutely that was the case tonight? Was that an audition for Evan Phillips, who does get the save for the Dodgers? Can I get a, oh, yeah? That's from Austin Lime. Yeah, I like that. Little 80s Kirk Gibson, but they're still going to have to pay Duffy either way. Yeah, that's peanuts. Dodgers blow their nose with $100 bills. We got Fire Roberts, interesting. Hey, to the Dodger peeps that are late to the party. What's up, Alex Renteria? Always rocking with us here on the Dodgers Nation post-game show. Yang Yi says, Hanser greater than signed Kimbrel. Go Dodgers. That's from Tanya Meza. Padres lost 6-3 to the Nationals. Price has been solid for a month. That's from Steven Richter. Yeah, David Price in his role has really excelled. And I think the difference between David Price, if you look at his splits, at his pitch mix, is he's trusting that fastball, and he's having a lot of success with it. And yeah, I love his demeanor. I love the way he goes out there, makes pitches, doesn't get fazed by the moment. I like Dave Roberts said that he doesn't run away from the baseball, which is, I hope not, because you don't want to run away from things, just as Jacob Stalling tonight, who ran away from home plate. And let's talk about that a little more, because I thought that was just a really interesting play by Jacob Stalling. And then, yeah, we'll let you guys enjoy your Friday night. Because it was pretty cool to see Dustin May pregame in that dugout, and it feels like we've waited an eternity to see Dustin May back. But Dustin May, he's going to be back for your Dodgers tomorrow. What are your expectations for him? Do you think Dustin May is going to be dominant? Bartolo Colon, greater than sign hater? God, it's been like 5 years since big sexy Bartolo Colon was back. But yeah, we'll talk about that bottom of the 8th inning. So a leadoff triple from Mookie Betts. Trey Turner, he grounded to third. Thought about, just easy ground out to third. Then they intentionally walk Freddie Freeman to get to Will Smith. Now, Will Smith, 19 RBI in his last 17 games. Since July 28th, 391 batting average with runners in scoring position. In his career from the 8th inning on, he has a 313 batting average, and he hits a ground ball to third, and Bertie didn't know where to go. He thought about going home, and then Stallings, of course, he wasn't even at the plate. He was moving down the first base line, and he was like, and the Dodgers just scored, and Mookie's able to score, give the Dodgers the lead there. And yeah, it was just such an interesting play because Stallings was basically moves 10 to 12 feet up that line. Birdie wanted to go home and take a shot at getting Mookie at the plate. With I definitely think that he would have gotten Mookie with the right throw. I think they had him, and he just wasn't on the plate. He just totally ditched. He was like a fish out of water. It was like the ultimate Olay move, and yeah, it was just hilarious, man. It just reminded me when I used to be a host at the Cheesecake Factory, and I used to be like, all right, right this way. Come on, I'll show you the table. I'll just get right out of the way. I mean, it was just hilarious the way that play was done. And look, that's why organizations like the Marlins are basically perpetually in rebuild mode. So yeah, just completely abandons home plate. The Dodgers, they get the win. And Padres equal the Clippers. That's from Gary A. Gallo leaving the Yankees like abandoning the Death Star, ready to explode and collapse. Wow, yes. Absolutely. Nice shirt, Doug. Hey, thanks, LWC. We got Josh Hader blows from Alex Silva. D-Mac, what's the magic number? Carl, I believe it's 27, if I'm not mistaken. I'm worried about that 11. I'm worried about that 11 magic number, though. Of course, let's take it one step at a time, but I want those 11 postseason wins. Padres still chasing the Dodgers, being aggressive, but still can't catch up. A.J. Preller on the hot seat if they don't make the playoffs. Well, Alex, I mean, he did definitely sign that new contract, but yeah, you saw the last time they went for it and they made all those moves, and you saw it just didn't work out for this team and this organization. I think, look, if you can get Juan Soto, I understand it, and I think one of the things too is did Fernando Tatis Jr. really respect that organization? Because I just don't know if he did. If he did, the way he was able to use those steroids to basically fight off that ringworm, and I'm pretty sure it's going to be the only ring he's going to get while he's on the Padres. But like I said, what happened the last time that A.J. Preller made these aggressive, short-sighted moves, and he made the move for Matt Kemp and James Shields and Justin Upton and Melvin Upton Jr. and Craig Kimbrell and Middlebrooks and Will Myers and Norris and Barnes and all those guys. What happened in that situation? He strip-mined his farm system back then, and it led to more losing. So, yeah, I just think that it's unfortunate if you're a Padres fan, but it's not a surprise because Slam Diego, they're going to get body slammed no matter who they play, in my opinion. I just don't believe in that organization. But here we go. We got D-Mac. Please let us know when you'll be on. Love Evan Phillips, Crumble. Yeah, I'm going to try to basically, be on 4 or 5 nights a week, especially down the stretch. In the postseason, it's every single game. Who's better, Kimbrel or Hader? Carl, geez. Man, who is better? That's an interesting question, man. I mean, who's better? I think right now you would have to say probably Craig Kimbrell. I mean, yeah, I think you definitely say Craig Kimbrell. I mean, he hasn't been as bad as Hader of late, but yeah, that one, that's not a fun one to debate. But here we go. All right, what's up, D-Mac? Was at the game tonight. What up, Don Kim? How was your experience, man? You have fun? Yeah, there we go. Hey, D-Mac and Dodgers Nation. That's from Carnivorous Lunar Activity over on YouTube. Sideshow May tomorrow. D-Mac, who's the next big paycheck in the Dodgers? I'm hoping it's going to be Trey Turner. I don't think they have any reason not to give him a big payday. But I hope we keep Hanser. He brings good chemistry up to the team. That's what we're missing. Yeah, I think as long as he can produce in his role, I mean, a guy that can give you he's a versatile middle infielder. I think that, yeah, if he is able to have success in that role, yeah, I definitely could see it. Padres just lose. Have a great time, Ricardo Ohtani, 2024 future Dodger. Hey, you never know. Maybe if they're unable to sign Trey Turner, maybe Ohtani, they say, hey, man, let's try to make a move for Ohtani. But I will say Gavin Lux, I think he's going to be a really solid to good to possibly be even great. I think there's no question about this. I think that Gavin Lux is absolutely going to make at least one All-Star team, possibly multiple All-Star teams. I mean, he's got lightning in his wrist. I think defensively, I don't think he's necessarily a viable option as a long-term solution as a shortstop, but offensively, he definitely has it, man. He absolutely has it. Gallo is a good luck charm. He sucks, but he brings luck to a team. That's from AC/DC Freak. We got, why do you entertain convos about Padres? Why do we even entertain convos about Padres? Honestly, it's a little schadenfreude. You know, they think that's a rivalry. It's not a rivalry. And, yeah, I mean, look, by definition, it is a division rival. There's no question about that. But I think when you saw how you thought that they had won the World Series after they won the trade deadline, and I think a lot of people that have been following baseball for a long time were thinking and saying, hey, man, let's just see how this team gels and they have the chemistry. And they just really went all in with these stars, and it just hasn't worked out as of yet. And then on top of that, you had the Fernando Tatis Jr. drama. And, yeah, we got D-Mac Preller, or whatever his name is, also gave away Trey Turner to the Nationals. We traded for him. That's Mr. Strider. You hear you. Yeah. Ringworm, not a World Series ring. Yeah, I mean, exactly. Maybe it's the curse of trade.com. That's from John Charlie. Bravo, DS. Hello. Gallo doesn't suck at all. His game is built around power bat, power arm, well above average athlete, gold glove defense in the outfield. Dodgers could put him on the mound if he stops hitting. Yeah, I mean, I think when you look at Joey Gallo, for him it's just about getting himself in hitters counts and just finding pitches that he can drive, because there's no question about it. I mean, his light tower power is really as good as it gets. I mean, when he gets a hold of one, I mean, my man, the ball just doesn't even land. I mean, pray for that ball. I mean, that ball had a family. And I think if you're Joey Gallo, he's a guy that is in a new situation. I don't think there's been a player in recent years that has benefited from a change of scenery more than Joey Gallo. And I think the great thing about him is, yeah, he's a guy that is not forced to go out there and perform in right field every single day and hear these boos from those wretched Yankees fans that, you know, it's karma, man. Those Yankees fans, I mean, they booed Giancarlo Stanton after one at bat, okay? I mean, so, yeah, I think Joey Gallo's a guy that if he gets hot and you throw him a mistake, he's going to hit it out. And I think having that kind of talent, not a lot of guys around the league have the kind of power that Joey Gallo has. And on top of that, he is a 2-time Gold Glove Award winner. And let me remind you, he's just a season removed from having a 140 WRC plus season. I mean, Joey Gallo is still young. He still has that, I mean, it's in there somewhere, right? I mean, he's a big dude, 6'5". I think he could be a Pro Bowl tight end. What do you guys think? And if you look at Joey Gallo in 2021, I mean, with the Rangers, he had a 150, a 139 OPS plus an 869 OPS. And if you look at his home runs, I mean, he had 41 bombs in 2017, 40 in 2018, 38 in 2021. So one of the most prolific home run hitters in the league over the last 4 or 5 seasons. So definitely the pop is in that bat, and I just think that yeah, the good vibes are definitely there with Joey Gallo. And look, at the very least, him leaving ruined the Yankees' season, a potential World Series competitor. But here we go. Dodgers have no rival this year. That's from Carl. Angel fan, they're really hurting. Sign Swanson in case Trey Turner doesn't extend. That's from Kathy over on Facebook. Well, you do know that John Heyman reported that the Braves have started extension talks with Dansby Swanson. Of course, they're in the early stages. Nothing serious has materialized as of yet, but it does seem like the Braves want to keep him in Atlanta. But yeah, Dansby Swanson, he's having a great year with the bat. I think defensively he's always been a plus shortstop, and there's no question about that. And no one's really increased their stock like Dansby Swanson has this year. I think Carlos Correa, his stock has dropped this season with the year he's had. Xander Bogaerts, his power numbers are down. Dansby Swanson, his numbers are up, and he got off to a slow start, and he really turned things around. He's really put himself in a position to get a nice payday. But to me, it's easy. You pay Trey. I'm actually going to drop a whole video I've been working on about extending Trey Turner and some of the comments that he's made recently. It does appear that he's way more open to staying in LA, and I think you just got to pay Trey and you got to keep this core intact. And I think this could be one of the best big threes in baseball, no question, but possibly in Dodgers history. Of course, you had Campanella and Snyder and Jackie Robinson, but yeah, this could be really one of the great big threes in the game, and I think you keep this core intact. They're all around the same age with Mookie. Of course, Freddie's 32, and then Trey will be 30 June of next season. But yeah, I think you see how the production that this team has. But here we go. Gallo. We got Gallo casts a spell on the Yankees. That's from Diane Struder. Joey Gallo better than Sheldon Noisy, Steven Souza Jr., and any other guy on the bench last year. That's from Damien. Yeah, I mean, that's what I've been saying for weeks now, right? I mean, last year, Andy freaking Burns, Steven Souza, a geriatric 5,000-year-old Albert Pujols, who we love our Theo, of course, but I mean, that just wasn't going to get it done against that vaunted Braves bullpen. So, yeah, I think that, there definitely has been an influx of talent. And Joey Gallo, when you consider they give up Clayton Beeter, their number 15th prospect, who definitely had some injury issues, some command issues. I think it was a great move by the Dodgers. What up, D-Mac? What up, Hugo? But, yep, guys, it's Friday night. I know you guys got big plans like me, which I don't. But no, I'm just going to kick it and probably rewatch this game. Who knows? No, what should you do tonight? Maybe the Hulk or the She-Hulk. Evan Phillips as closer. Yeah, I mean, so I think the big takeaways from tonight is I think Doc really made a statement by throwing Evan Phillips out there. I think that you're starting to see that at the very least you're going to see some closer by committee, and that is what I want, that I think is what a lot of Dodger fans want, is play the matchups. You do not need one singular guy that can go out there every ninth inning and get the final 3 outs. And Evan Phillips, he has the stuff, he has the persona, he has the swing and miss, he has the ability to just break bats, kind of. I'm not saying he's Mariano Rivera or anything like that with that cutter, which I think is the best pitch really ever when you think about it. But I think that he showed tonight that there was a different presence with Dr. Phil tonight. And I think, like we said, Captain Phillips didn't let the ship sink for the Dodgers. And I think the other big takeaway was this team just winners win, right? They found a way to win a game where they went 0 for 10 with runners in scoring position, where they took advantage of some shoddy defense, and Jacob Stallings, he runs away from home plate, allowing Mookie Betts to score, even though Birdie had a chance to get him at the plate. Also, Trace Thompson, big clutch double. He was able to get to third base too off some bad Marlins defense. So the Dodgers, they took advantage of some shoddy Marlins defense, and then Tyler Anderson, he went out there as gritty as ever, like he always does. He goes out there and he just eats innings, and that's what I love about the guy. He really, if I'm in the bullpen, I see Tyler Anderson on the mound, I'm thinking, hey, let me just, I'm going to chill for a minute because I'm not going to be in there at the very least, probably the 7th or 8th inning. And I think he went out there and he gave the Dodgers a chance to win in a tight one, and they ultimately were able to win. Also, you can't forget about Chris Martin. I think Chris Martin, he did a really nice job there, coming in there 1, 2, 3 innings. So, yeah, this Dodger team, give them a lot of credit. They win again in a game where their offense has been struggling of late. And, yeah, they're going to wake up. There's a little bit of a Dodgers downshift. D-Mac, do you miss Kainley? I miss Kainley in the sense that I still trust that Kainley, when he's on, his stuff is nasty, but bad Kainley is a disaster in and of itself. I think I think that it just ran its course. I truly do. I think that the Kainley relationship with the Dodgers, after getting booed off the mound, after the resentment that Kainley Jansen still carried from not being able to get that final save in 2020 when they didn't trust him. Remember, he does blow it in Game 4. In that game, of course, the Brett Phillips game where he's flying like an airplane, I think that Kainley was never able to get past that. And I just think that he was ready for a change of scenery. I think this Dodgers team and organization was ready to go in a different direction. So, to me, it's not that I want him still here. I think it was great when he was dominant. So the answer is really no. I actually don't miss Kainley Jansen. And to me, I think this organization is in a spot where you have to get away from that old-fashioned closer's role. We know Kainley Jansen, he wanted that role, he wanted that title, and I think that this organization is learning with guys like Evan Phillips that they don't need a title. They can say, hey, I can be a high-leverage guy, and I can also get the final 3 outs in the ninth. So, yeah, definitely not. Man, I love being a Dodger fan. Yeah, it's a great one, man. It's the best. Here we go. Best decision I'll ever make. She-Hulk, what the F, Wokesters. I don't even know anything about that, Gary. I swear to I probably won't watch that. I don't really – I was just saying like what I saw. Oprah, I'm going to see the Dodgers in San Francisco. But, yep, guys, smash that like button. Yeah, guys, like I said, it's your show. I'm just hosting it. Thanks for rocking with us here on Friday night. The Dodgers get the dub. Here we go. Kainley struggled with runners on base. I was sick of Kainley's attitude. Glad he's gone. Who should be the Dodgers closer in 2023? Yang Yi, still early for that. You kind of have to see who's able to come back because, I mean, Evan Phillips, I mean, he's the guy who they're probably going to be able to bring him back in some capacity. And I think Brusdar Graterol is interesting. And, of course, Blake Trinan, he's signed for another year. So kind of the plan this year, what if they didn't sign Kimbrel? Would Blake Trinan be that guy that they could have in that role? So still early, and you'll see the Dodgers will find a way to kind of revamp this bullpen after this season because Craig Kimbrel will be gone, and that cookie will have crumbled out of LA. But yeah, I mean, we'll see. We'll cross that bridge when we get there next year. But thanks as always, guys, for rocking with us here on the Dodgers Nation postgame show. You can follow me on Twitter and Instagram at DMAC_LA. I think we're going to be back tomorrow for Dustin May's start. So we're going to do a special show tomorrow for sure. Thanks as always for rocking with us. We got That Is Moneyball's rule. The closer is a waste of money. Steven Richter. Yeah, I mean, the bullpen position is so volatile. I mean, you see even the Hendricks move for the White Sox. I mean, very rarely does it have a big impact on you winning the entire postseason, the entire World Series. But thanks, Jay Silva. And everyone for rocking with us, guys. Like I said, if you haven't subscribed yet, hit that subscribe button, hit that notification bell. And if you want to see us post even more Dodgers content, smash that like button. Yes, exactly. Craig Osterberg, Bleed Blue. As always, thank you, D-Mac. Thanks, guys. As always, enjoy Crumble DFA. Diane, Kathy, you rock back. But see you guys next time. Remember, nothing brings us together quite like Dodger baseball. Rebecca, thanks, D-Mac. Thanks for rocking with us, guys. Good looking out, D-Mac. When are those new shirts going to come out? Yeah, I don't know. We got to work on that. But see you guys next time. Enjoy your Friday night. See you guys tomorrow. Dustin May takes the mound for the first time since May 1st of 2021. Have a great weekend. And as always, think blue, bleed blue, and I'm out.
It's time for